Hi, everybody. It's Catherine Ewing from Sacred Heart Alchemy and Divinely Inspired Feminine Leaders. I'm really excited to be here with you this evening. I haven't been here in a while. I went through a little bit of a lull in my energy, and fortunately, that seems to have shifted. And I'm really excited to be back and to share. Hey, Shar, and to share with you what I was inspired to jump on and share with you tonight. So, you saw the title, the caption, right? Have you ever wanted a coach on call, right? A trusted source who you could just touch base with to get some advice, to run something by, to help you with something you're stuck on, to get some accountability on a project. That's a coach on call, right? Wouldn't that be awesome? Haven't we all needed that? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about with you tonight. So, if you know me and if you're in this tribe, you at least know me a little. I know there are those of you who know me really well and those maybe not so well. But if you know me, you know that I'm totally passionate about my mission, right? My mission of creating heaven on earth, right? That message was given to me, oh my, 13 or so years ago in a powerful meditation, where we were meeting our trusted sources, right? And Yeshua and Magdalene came in and stood on either side of me, just behind me, and basically gave me the mission. Your job is to create your mission, should you choose to accept it, right? Mission impossible is to create heaven on earth. And I was like, whoa, that's a big mission. I'm not sure I actually know how to do that. And they assured me that they would give me the words to use and show me where to plant my feet and lead me all the way through. And I trust that they have, although it has gotten a little muddy at points over the last, 13 years. But basically, what it comes down to, the way that I understand it, is that many of us showed up, right, in this lifetime at this particular point in time to anchor heaven on earth. We are in the throes of change and upheaval and healing the ugly underbelly like we've never seen, right? And of this is part of having to discharge the old heavy dense energies so we can bring in the higher vibrating energies that will allow us to actually create heaven on earth. We don't have to ascend from this earthly form to create a heavenly space here. And so my particular what's the word I want to use? My particular piece of that is helping women to heal the negative imprints, the negative messages, the negative influences, the negative programming of early life trauma and loss, so that they can use that as a springboard or a portal, if you will, to step more deeply into their soul's purpose. It's my belief, and this is what everything I do is based on this belief, that every soul came here with a specific purpose in mind. Otherwise, a soul would have no reason to incarnate if there was no purpose behind it. And whether that purpose is, to run a multi-million-dollar business or to become a homeless person, like, there's no judgment in that, because it's all about soul growth. But so my particular contribution to creating heaven on earth is, as I said, healing the feminine wound, so that as we heal those deep wounds, we then take the lessons and then we can use that to step into a higher version of our soul's purpose, right? I like to say that life on earth is sort of like the petri dish the perfect, you know, place where we get to grow the soul and give the soul experience that it then takes in its next highest version of itself to begin to live from the place of the higher vibration of those lessons. So that's a little bit about me. I won't go into too much more of my story, but that is the mission that I feel very passionate and committed to serving, right? While I'm on the planet. If you know me, you probably know that. You probably also know that I don't love marketing. I just like to do my work. I like to serve people. I sort of figure that people will hear about me through word of mouth, or, you know, when you're a therapist, you know, their insurance company will send them my way. Or I've been a little bit behind the scenes and a little bit of a lagger in terms of really stepping up and speaking out and promoting myself. And in all transparency and all honesty, I have had to work through, and it's been many years, my own beliefs about promotion and, you know, looking like I'm in it just to make money and, you know, being out of integrity. And I have had to really dig deep to be able to stand in my truth, which is that if I am more committed to my mission than to my fear of being judged because I'm marketing or inviting people into my programs, I really have to take a look at that, right? And you know, there have been a few times in the not too distant past where people say to me, so what is it that you do? And I'm sort of taken aback because, you know, I do it every day. I figure everybody knows what I do. Not so much. So Spirit is clearly saying to me, Catherine, dear one, it's time for you to be a little more loud and a little more proud of who you are and what you're here to do, and to bring that message more clearly to others. So obviously, if I'm going to do this work, it's going to require me sharing. And I see, Tori, you're on here. You know, you're in the early stages of becoming an entrepreneur. You will figure this out too, right? There is lots of personal growth in being an entrepreneur. It will test every self-doubt, limiting belief, fear that you have. But it's so important now, I think more than ever, that really my mission now must take precedent over any fear of judgment or rejection or who does she think she is, right? Any of that stuff that has stopped me in the past. Because we are at such a critical time in our evolution. We are at such, I want to say, an impasse, but that almost sounds sort of passive. So it's much more than an impasse. It is such an auspicious time that we've been in for this last number of years, and especially over this last year during COVID, that I feel more compelled than ever to use this time in a way where we come out, to support us coming out the other side, more grounded, more loving, more tapped into our divine essence, more ready to do the work of creating heaven on earth. Because I honestly think we're all here to do that in our own particular version, whatever our unique contribution to that is. I am not unique, and I'm not up on some soapbox saying, hey, I'm here to create heaven on earth. Because honestly, every soul on the planet came here to do that and to be that. Some of us may just be at a different place in our spiritual journey where we may be stepping up, speaking out, being the light workers, the way showers, whatever. But ultimately, every soul on the planet is here to do that. So all of that being said, I'm really excited to share something new with you, and honestly, in all transparency, invite you in to something that I've sort of just created. In fact, I have it all written out, but I have not put it out to the world in any way yet because I wanted to bring it to this group first, because this is going to be sort of a very limited addition to this program that I'm offering. And the program is called Awakening. It is a program, and it's a laser coaching model. And I'll tell you what that is. It is a model where over the course of a year, you have as many 20-minute sessions with me, basically as you want. There are some built-in structures so that it's not, every other day, because there's some homework that has to be done in between. But it's basically a way for me to make myself accessible, more accessible to you, to more people who have said to me, I'd love to work with you, but I can't afford it, or, I'm not taking insurance any longer, and so it's an out-of-pocket expense, and that's too much for some people. Or they've worked with me before and feel like they don't need real intense work, but they would love sort of a place to check in for accountability if their beliefs are getting the best of them, if they've kind of gone down a rabbit hole and can't quite get themselves out. Some new transition has shown up in your life, and you need a trusted person for some guidance through that. Those are all really great examples of what this type of program would be good for. Obviously, in 20-minute sessions, we're not doing deep dives, although there will be a possibility that if the time comes and we need to put a couple of those 20-minute sessions together to do a deeper dive, we do have that option. But the basic program is 20-minute laser sessions where we come together knowing, kind of what's up, what we're going to work on. And then I get to bring all of the things that I love to you in a very focused, laser coaching sort of way. So in this, I can make it accessible to people who may not otherwise be able to do a 6-month or a year-long program with me. And I also honor my time, knowing that I'm limiting this to a certain number of people, because my time and my energy obviously is also seriously important. So what else do I want to say about this? So a few things happened recently that really kind of kick-started me into this idea. One is that I heard from like 3 different women from different times in my past. Like maybe I'd been in a program with them, or they'd done therapy with me before, or maybe they'd even coached with me. And they all reached out to say, can I just talk to you for like, I don't know, a half hour? I've just got some stuff going on. I'm kind of down a rabbit hole, or things are happening that I don't understand. And I know that talking to you will help me sort it out, whether it's a sort of a spiritual thing, a trauma thing, a coaching thing. Their belief was that talking to me, even for a limited time, would sort of help get them back on track, shift their mindset, work through the block, do some tapping, whatever it might happen to be. And shortly after that happened, I was made aware of another coach who was doing this program. He was actually offers 15-minute sessions, which felt a little too short for me. But when I read it, I thought, oh my gosh, this sounds like a really good model for me to be able to be more accessible and also, as I said, honor my time and my energy. And so I just sort of let that sit and percolate. And it's been a few weeks sort of coming together because there's all of these different pieces. So the other aspect of this that I want to share, that I love this piece, because at any time in our lives, any one of us needs a mentor, a midwife, or a mother, right? Is that true? We need a mentor. We need someone who has walked the path before us, who has paved the way, who sees something in us. And I think Shar and Tori, you've both sort of heard me use this language before, where you literally turn around and offer the woman behind you your hand, right, to cross the stones on the river or to make it up the hill, those last few steps or whatever. And that's what I see in myself as a mentor. I've walked this journey. It's been 40 plus years, 40 years of a conscious spiritual journey, 25 years of life before that brought me to that place where there's so much. There's so much in this resource librarian head of mine that I just love to share, not to mention what comes through from spirit, that to be able to offer some bits and pieces of my wisdom, of my experience, of my intuition to any one of you, as a mentor would. I see something in you. I want to help you move forward. Yeah, we need all three at once. Well, this is the program. You get mentor, midwife, and mother. So you know what a mentor is. What do I mean by midwife? Well, a midwife is someone who helps women birth something, right? Usually a child. But in this case, I would be there to support you from conception to, from initial creation to finally giving birth to something that wants to be birthed through you. I remember years ago somebody asking the question, what are you pregnant with? And, some of you listening may still be in the childbearing years. Many of you in my community have already raised our children. And we're in a chapter of our lives where we can now take that creative energy that went to raising, birthing and raising children, the beginning years of our career, climbing the ladder, right? Maybe being in committed relationship and pouring a lot of our energy and love and attention into that. And now we're in different places in our lives and not ready to sit back and say, give me the rocking chair. I mean, that's nice some days, but we still have a life force flowing through us that wants to be birthed into the world. And so I would love to be a midwife for you. When you're pregnant, you go for your monthly checkups, right? So it's sort of like we'll do the checkups along the way and keep you on track with whatever it is that you want to birth into the world. And finally, mother. Again, if you know my personal story, you know that I lost my mom when I was 22. Literally on my last day of college class, and 2 months before I got married. In addition to that, I lost my dad a few years later, 2 months before my oldest child was born. So, I was without parents. I was orphaned, if you will, by the time I was 30. So I know mother loss from literally the passing of my mom when I was 22 years old. Also, having worked in all kinds of different areas with women, rape crisis, domestic violence, child abuse, and then as a psychotherapist for 27 years, I understand that many women have grown up in households where their mothers were either not physically, mentally, or emotionally available to them then, or perhaps even still now. And so whether your mother has passed over, whether your mother is still in her earthly body but not available to you for some reason, we all need a mother sometimes. I still at my age, sometimes I wish, I just wish I could call my mom and ask her what she would do. Or, well, she was past by my age now, but, certainly when I was raising my kids and I was a younger woman. So I love the idea of being able to bring the mentoring, the midwifing, and the conscious mothering, because that's a very different, right, energy. There's the energy of the divine feminine, right, where because of the work that I've done, and again, not putting myself on a pedestal, but it's a more emotionally balanced, it's a more present experience of motherhood than many other women have experienced. So that would be, sort of in this package, whether you on any given day need a mentor or a midwife or a mother, you get all three. And I love being able to do that, right? And as I said, you get 40 plus 40 years of conscious spiritual healing work plus 25 years of life before that. And all of the time, all of the energy, all of the, what do I want to say? Mental, emotional, and frankly, financial investment that I have made over all of those years, and it all has been substantial. I have all of that to offer you so that you don't have to take 40 years, hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And all of the pitfalls that I took. Hopefully you can learn from my journey. You will have your own journey. You will have your own challenges, your own struggles, your own pitfalls. But, I'd like to think that I can hold sort of a safety net under you so that, you can move a little more quickly and with a little less drama, a little less of the roller coaster than I've been on. So, who is this program good for? Because it's not for everybody. If you are still deeply working through your trauma, or even haven't even started working through your trauma yet, and really need sort of intensive, full, 50-minute sessions, this is not for you. This program is best if you have done some therapy or, some kind of healing work, and well, a couple of things. Maybe found that traditional talk therapy has only brought you so far, and you know that there's more that you would like to access, right? That's one person who would be great for this. If you know you have some goals, some projects, something that wants to birth through you, and you're either struggling with getting started or struggling with staying on track, doubts, fears, limiting beliefs, stuff is coming up, procrastination to get in your way, and you really need accountability, this would be, again, perfect for that. And if you just are having some things go on, I mentioned some of the women who had reached out to me, especially in this period of spiritual awakening. Some of us are having some things go on that we don't quite understand, whether it's something like, seeing sequences of numbers, or having a pair of cardinals show up every day for a week, or getting messages, or waking up at 3:00 in the morning and not being able to get back to sleep again, or being irritated as all get out by people who you typically love and adore, and you're just like, oh my God, leave me alone, right? You don't want the drama. The sound of the television irritates you. Like, all of those things are signs of spiritual awakening. And, sometimes you just need somebody to say, all right, you're not batshit crazy, right? You're not losing your mind, but you are very likely going through a spiritual awakening. And when you put that together with COVID and kids or midlife and all the other stuff that's going on, we really can feel like we're losing our minds sometimes. So it's awesome to have, again, a trusted source, a touch point to say, hey, this is going on for me. Can you just help me sort this out? Can you let me know if I'm losing my mind? And I've been down this path. When I left my 30-year marriage and my paid employment and my house and my kids and my pets and my financial security and, moved into a 200 square foot room and opened a healing center, never having been an entrepreneur before. Well, I was working in a group therapy practice, but that's not quite the same as running a healing center. And I was out there on my own, trying to figure this all out. I shouldn't say on my own. There was a group of spiritual women who I was connected to, and I had a lot of my own training at that point in energy work and different energy healing modalities. Thank God for EFT. I tapped myself black and blue for a couple of years there. I had a lot of resources to help me get through those times where I honestly didn't know whether I was just having a total mental breakdown or a spiritual awakening, and it was probably a little of both. And so I would love to help you if you're feeling a little bit like that, to help you navigate through all of that. So, yeah, that's probably all I want to say in terms of description. As I said, it'll work almost like a sort of a coach on call thing. So if you decide that this is something that feels like it's a good fit for you, I'll just share a little bit. We would meet first for a longer session, right? If you decided to sign up, we would do a 45 or 50-minute session just to kind of get to know each other if we don't already know each other, identify, some things that you might want to be working on. And then the sessions after that would be 20-minute sessions. And here's the deal. We would have a session. I would send you the recording. I would send you the notes with some questions and with some homework. When you've got your homework finished, you can go ahead and schedule your next session. So over the course, and this would last for a year. So, if you were quick with homework and you were on it, you could literally have 50 sessions with me over the course of a year, which, if you've worked with me, 50 sessions is a lot, and we can get a lot done. And you will find yourself a year from now probably not even remembering who the woman was that signed up. Things will have shifted so much. So that's basically how the program would work. One longer session to get started, and then we would jump in with the shorter laser coaching sessions. You would get your recordings, you would get feedback, you would get homework, and then you could go ahead and schedule your next session. As I said, because this is going to be pretty labor intensive for me, especially because I'm just doing it for the first time, and I'm going to be, in some ways figuring this out as I go. I'm only taking 10 women in this sort of, fledgling program. So, and then we'll see. That may be the only time I offer it, or I may open it up again. It all depends on how it unfolds. So, like I said, I haven't put it out to the general public yet. I'm going to be talking to my VA tomorrow about getting the landing page and all that's done so I can actually really market it. But because you guys are my community, and I know so many of you personally, and would like to know others of you more. I really was committed to put this out to the Divinely Inspired Feminine Leaders community primarily, and then to my, general Facebook group beyond that. So if you are feeling a resonance with this, I'm going to invite you to do, to either you can put something in the comments if you, are feeling called to this. You can private message me, email me. As I said, I don't have it all set up in terms of the back room where it all operates automatically yet. And so, we would just have to have a conversation and then, figure that out. If you feel like it's not for you, but there's somebody in your life who you feel like this would be perfect for, please feel free to share the information. The investment for 1 year of coaching with me is $997. I have to tell you this. When I told my coaching group what I was offering for that price, they fell out of their chairs. They were saying this should go between $39.97 and $59.97 easily, because it's just that rich. And I appreciated their feedback. And I came back to my commitment to wanting to make it accessible for women to work with me who may not have, another opportunity, another way to do that. To work with me one-on-one rather than in a group setting, because I know Tori is here and we just finished up 6 months of Unleashed, which was an awesome group program, which has its own set of benefits. But while everybody got some one-on-one attention, obviously in a group setting, you don't get my undivided attention. And, it's not specifically focused to you and what's going on with you in this moment. This program, at the same price point, actually, as the 6-month program, is one-on-one, individual. What you bring to the call that day is what gets addressed, right? So I'm excited. I hope you can tell. I know I'm talking really fast. It's the New York Irish in me. When I'm excited about something, I just, it's just what happens. So I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Again, if you're interested, if you have questions, if you think it would be great for somebody else, you can certainly put something in the comments below. You can private message me if we're friends. You can email me. You can call me. There's all kinds of ways that you can reach me. And you can please feel free to share this. That's why I did it in my regular Facebook group, because we can share from there. If I did it in my private group, we couldn't. So feel free to share, invite anyone who you think this would be a good fit for to take a listen. And I think that's it. I didn't intend for this to be so long, but I got talking and I'm excited. And so I hope, I hope you're excited, and we'll share this information. So will this, Carol, this meaning this Facebook Live, will it be repeated? Or the offer is open for 10 women, and then I'm closing the doors. And then I'm going to run that for, 6 months or so to get my bearings and see whether I can bring more people in. So the answer to that is I don't know. It is limited right now to 10 women, because I have to figure out what the time commitment on my end is going to look like, and I can't overload my schedule. I just don't have that much, time or bandwidth. So Carol, I hope that answers your question. Devlin, I see you. I love it. I would love to connect with you, dear soul sister. So let's do that. Jen, I see you here. Good to see you. And I think that's it. I am going to let you go enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. I'm going to do the same, and I look forward to seeing all you beautiful souls again very soon. Happy full moon coming up. I had a beautiful opportunity to do a fire circle with some new soul sisters last night. Such a beautiful experience. And so please take some time out of your schedule or in your schedule in the next couple of days and tap in to your own energy and what you would like to create around this moon cycle. All right, my loves, talk to you soon. Bye now.